Okay, one of those times.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jesse Manley, and I'm a Deputy Director at Courtwatch NOLA. Courtwatch NOLA is a nonprofit organization that holds the court accountable for transparency and fairness. The building behind me, the public is not allowed to walk through that door with a cell phone, and many people are not aware of that fact until they are turned away. We are standing in front of this building today to ask the court to reverse this exclusionary policy. Today we publish a report called Disconnected, Mobile Phone Access in Criminal District Court, that examines the court's ban on members of the public entering the building with electronic devices, most notably cell phones. We believe that this policy is a significant challenge to our community having fair and equitable access to our court system. Our primary concerns are public safety, accessibility, and just how outdated this policy is compared to other jurisdictions. New Orleans is an extreme outlier compared to our peers. Courtwatch NOLA examined 50 cities that have similar crime rates to ours, and 48 out of the 50 allow the public to enter the courts with cell phones. The two that do not are New Orleans and Albuquerque. Courtwatch NOLA surveyed visitors to this courthouse. 2/3 of them said that not being able to bring their phone was made it more inconvenient or difficult for them to attend court. 1/3 of the people visiting took a means other than driving themselves. So they walked, took public transit, got a ride from a friend, or took a ride share. Those people were most negatively impacted, especially if they weren't aware of the policy before they left the house. The ban on cell phones also creates a public safety issue. Courtwatch NOLA examined NOPD crime data from 2023, and the two time periods that had the highest number of crimes within a half-block radius of this building were Monday and Tuesday mornings, when the court is busiest and most people are visiting the courthouse. People who drive themselves are likely to leave their phones in their car. And in 2023, there were 147 car break-ins within a half-mile radius of this building. People with medical issues and disabilities who rely on cell phones for assistive technology to manage their conditions are disproportionately affected by this cell phone ban. To speak about the medical impacts of the court's policy banning cell phones, I would like to introduce Lila Zucker, a disability rights organizer.
Thank you, Jesse. Good morning. My name is Lila Zucker. I am the organizing director at New Disabled South. Although today I'm speaking in my personal capacity as a disabled New Orleanian. I have a number of different rare dynamic disabilities, meaning I use different mobility aids and assistive devices each day, depending on my mobility, my symptoms, and the activity I will be doing. I'm also an insulin-dependent diabetic, and I rely on a continuous glucose monitor to ensure that my blood sugar does not drop dangerously low or skyrocket. This monitor sends me alerts to my phone if this happens, and I cannot be more than 10 feet away from my phone at any time. The unnecessary restrictions on phones and electronic devices inside the Orleans Parish Criminal District Court are an unnecessary and horrifying limitation on people with disabilities like myself. Being disabled and relying on a glucose monitor is not something I chose, and I cannot leave this reality at home if I need to go into this court. People who are blind or low vision use apps on their phone or other devices to read screens, signs, and paperwork. They often require electronic devices to be able to access spaces and materials like maps to independently get around. People who are deaf or hard of hearing use apps and other technology to be able to communicate if there's not an ASL interpreter or closed captions or both, which are often not available. Some people with mobility impairments and physical disabilities require pumps that dispense medications that allow them to navigate the world. Those with different disabilities that affect their memory or processing sometimes require technology such as phones or laptops to be able to take notes, process what they're hearing, and recall that in the future. Many people, such as myself, are unable to write notes by hand and rely on such devices. These devices are absolutely necessary for us to navigate the world, understand and participate in conversations, and just exist in spaces such as this courthouse. It should not be up to the security staff of the court to determine whether or not we appear disabled enough to be worthy of access to this public space. These devices are not toys for us. They are requirements for us to be able to participate in our society and the criminal legal system just like any other person. By limiting our access to these necessary devices, you are preventing the roughly 36% of Louisianians with a disability from participating in a crucial part of our society simply because of our disability. We can't choose to leave our disabilities or assistive devices at home, but this court can and should choose to allow us to fully participate and access this courthouse. Thank you.
Thank you, Lila. Next, I would like to introduce Melanie Bray, the Director of Legal Programs and Advocacy at Disability Rights Louisiana.
Good morning. Disability Rights Louisiana is the protection and advocacy agency for the state of Louisiana. We're a nonprofit organization that exists to serve, to protect, empower, and advocate for individuals with disabilities. We're a part of a national network that exists in every state and territory. Part of our mandate is to ensure that people with disabilities have fair and equal access to public spaces. Individuals with disabilities have the same right of access to the courts as individuals without disabilities. While accessibility is necessary across the board, it becomes particularly important with regards to court proceedings. Whether a criminal or a civil matter, the ability to meaningfully participate is vital. For some individuals, technology is an accommodation to ensure that accessibility. Advocating for individuals to receive a service or a device needed to meaningfully participate in court proceedings acknowledges that individual's humanity, as well as the right to be a part of that proceeding. We should push for inclusivity and equality across all facets of our legal practice. And I encourage the court to step in line and follow that and ensure accessibility by providing accommodations to individuals with disabilities. We're confident that Orleans Parish Court will be amenable to ensuring all individuals are able to participate meaningfully in court proceedings and to abide by the Americans with Disabilities Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Fun times. So the findings are clear. This policy is outdated and unfair, but it is also very fixable. The judges of this courthouse have the power to change it. We've seen examples from all over the country, from other areas right here in Louisiana, of courts implementing fair, modern policies that strike the right balance between security, order, and accessibility. The judges in other New Orleans courts, the judges in Jefferson Parish, in Baton Rouge, and the 48 peer cities with crime rates such as ours have all figured it out somehow. And we refuse to believe that those judges are smarter or more creative or more committed to creating a fair and equitable criminal justice system than our 13 elected judges here in Criminal District Court. Today, we are asking those judges to take action. This is your courthouse, your policy, and your decision. The enforcement mechanisms you need to do this are already in place. You just have to utilize them. This isn't just about votes. It's about making the court system more equitable. It's about ensuring that every person, regardless of their income, their transportation method, or their physical ability, has a fair chance to engage with the criminal court system. By revising this exclusionary policy, the judges of this court can make a powerful statement that justice in New Orleans is not only for those who have privilege, but it's for everyone. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming. I hope we can all work together to ensure this much needed reform.
Can you do me a favor and tell me your name, spell your first and last name?
Absolutely. Jesse Manley, Jessemanley, Deputy Director at Court Watch NOLA.
And in case I missed it, have you reached out to the court?
We have sent the report to all the judges.
What was their response?
We haven't gotten official response from any of the judges yet. We've gotten some unofficial discussions that they might disagree with us. So,
Okay, so can you tell me when you sent that, or when you made contact with them?
it was last Friday.
Last Friday.
Yeah, so they've had the report for almost a week. So. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you for coming.
Do you want me to grab my, is your car closed, Jesse?
No, I'm gonna have to bring it by.
Mine's
Yeah.
super close. Well, I
Okay.
guess you want it. Do you want to keep it at your
It's.
place?
I mean, we'll figure it out. It's
Okay.
fine.
Well, I can stick around.
Thank you so much for coming.